Town, USA, the Hershey Park Stadium, the Pennsylvania Cable Network proudly presents high school football. Tonight, it's the championship in PIAA. Out of the West, the Indians of West Allegheny. They roar in here undefeated at 14-0. The champion out of the East, they are also undefeated at 14-0. The Panthers of Strath. Good evening, everyone. Delighted, honored to bring you exclusive coverage of the 1999 PIAA Football Championships. Earlier today, the champion in Single A, Southside Beaver, in an epic 27-21 against Southern Columbia. Chapter 2 promises to be a white-knuckle job. West Allegheny in the red, there are their fans making the long trek from suburban Pittsburgh. Jed Donahue, the coach, Gary Sutton, Mark Shuey along with you. And gentlemen, this should be a dandy here in this particular game. We're going to take you around the Hershey Park Arena, give you the sights and sounds with our national anthem sung by Melanie Clapper, a senior at Northern Bedford High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wonderful job, Melanie Clapper, senior, Northern Bedford High School, with a national anthem. Weather significant as far as a storyline in this football game. We'll get to that momentarily. There's the officiating crew. Let's have a look at Strath right now. And first, let's do the weather. The wind still this afternoon, not the case now. 44, they're going to drop into low 30s, and we got wind chills in the high teens. That wind right there is blowing on your screen from left to right, and it's a factor, Gary.
It really is a factor in any kind of passing game tonight, and it's going to really affect everything. It's swirling down there. It's going to be a very tough evening, and there you see the Strathaven Panthers offense on the screen. Of course, Aaron Carter, a guy who's going to be instrumental tonight, Jed.
He's the linchpin there, and looking at the skill guys next, Mark Jones, name we'll call a lot, number 5, celebrate the fullbacks, a dandy Mike Connor, junior quarterback, does enough. Very clever in the pocket. Much anticipated matchup. They say this could be one of the really good teams to come out of Western PA. Matt Zanarilli and Mark Jones are deep. And we were going to be underway, but that wind that we were talking about blew the ball off the tee. Mark, West Allegheny, it's been a struggle in AAA for the West, but West Allegheny is good as anybody. They're the #1 ranked team in AAA and legit coming here.
No question about it. They've had their sights set on Hershey since their first day of practice. I was talking to the coaches earlier, and yeah, the defense, they've lived and died by their defense. 7 shutouts. They didn't give up a touchdown until October 16th.
They'll keep it away from Mark Jones, which is what you want to do.
That's exactly what they wanted to do. Kicker came off the field. He's pumped up. He did exactly what Coach Bob Palko told him to do, and that is kick it away from Mark Jones. He is probably the most dangerous player, the most explosive player that we'll see at Hershey this weekend. 4.35 speed, going to the University of Tennessee, and when he touches the ball, he can score from literally anywhere, and I mean anywhere. He's got 27 touchdowns from 50 yards out or more. So they're dangerous with Mark Jones in the backfield from anywhere on this football field.
Looking at junior Matt Connor, handoff, Celebre. Thrust behind Aaron Carr to the center to about the 24-yard line. Positive yardage on first down.
There's a couple of keys for Strath Haven
First
offensively.
off, Mark, let's take a look at West Allegheny defensively. The two Campbell boys, one's a junior, that's Kellen, Kevin the senior, and they're dynamic.
And watch Mitch Fedorko, too. He's a monster in there at tackle.
2nd and 5. Jones with his first touch slides into the lane, and West Allegheny crawls all over him at the 27-yard line. Tackle is made for West Allegheny, and it's going to be the first of the night for Mitch Fedorko, and you can hear the official settling the tone early.
There's the West Allegheny defense. See Tyler Palco. He's the son of head coach Bob Palco. Miller, Bracken, linebackers. There's Fedorko. West Allegheny shifting around. Their main focus tonight is to contain Mark Jones. No question about it.
Into the teeth of the wind on 3rd down. Connor, quick handoff. Jones, first down to the 33. A gain of 8. That'll move the chains. Jones, yeah, he can fly, but he can get in the lane and do some things too, and that gives you a great example right behind the big center.
Right here. Got a little hole. You just slip right on through and smack down the middle. It shows you a little power to go with it.
Nothing subtle about Strath Haven and their offensive line. Mark will have their storyline. They've got an offensive line coach that's been here since 1971. Second man through is going to be Mulhern, who's had some good moments this year. He had a 169-yard effort earlier in the season. Mark?
Yeah, Paul Tagliatella, he's their offensive line coach. He's been there nearly 30 years, since 1971. He says this is the best offensive line he's ever coached. Offensive line for Strath Haven averages 240 pounds across the front, averaging 6'2" height-wise.
Mulhern getting 4.6 yards every time he touches the football as well.
On setback, Celebre. Connor under center. Jones, the motion man. Quick hit for Celebre. Into the wash at about the 38. Gain of 3. It'll be 3rd and let's call it about 6 upcoming now for Strath Haven. 3rd down's going to be big in this game, and how much length on 3rd down do you have?
3rd down.
Jed, one of the things we'll see here in the early going is maybe an attempt by Strath Haven to really try to use as a decoy Jones to set up the inside game, and then maybe get Jones on a quick silver look to the outside.
3rd and 6. Strath Haven's already converted a 3rd and 5 on this drive. Backs in an open set, as you can see. Connor, handoff, Jones gets in the lane. There he goes. Ball and up. He's free all the way to the 49-yard line. Thought that man popped out, but it didn't. Jones shows you his explosiveness. We'll draw this up right here.
Take a look,
though. This is a thoroughbred.
At the offensive line. By the time Jones gets to the offensive line this next time, watch this. The offensive line has already pushed back the defense about 2 to 3 good yards. Look over here as you see the run coming up by Jones. Here we go. Jones is going to get the handoff here. Now watch, the offensive line's already got a 2 to 3 yard pull ahead for him, and then the hole opens up and you can drive a truck through there.
Back to live action, Celebre to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 7. Mark, any coach will tell you, we talked about this earlier this afternoon, average yards on 1st down. Strath Haven wants to win that battle, and they're getting it done early.
And here again, the right side of the offensive line, anchored by Chris Edwards, the right tackle, just opened up a big hole for Celebre. Pickup of about 6-7 yards on the play.
Strath Haven running multiple formations. Jones again, not much there to the 40-yard line. Pushing back is Jason Hiles, the 5'8", 160-pound junior.
Just running over left guard, nothing fancy as you mentioned. Here we go again. Watch left guard move right here and come right over top of it, pick up a couple yards, test the interior of that defense, and just kind of probe.
One thing about West Allegheny's defense, though, they have faced a lot of speed teams, most recently Perry. Perry comes to the table with a lot of speed, and their coaching staff was telling me that, you know, West Allegheny plays the speed teams very, very well, and Strath Haven certainly a speed team here tonight.
Connor under center. It's 3rd and a short 1. Hand off to Jones, has the corner and a 1st down. Didn't get much, but he only needed a yard. He'll get 4 to the 37-yard line. Well, Mark Jones, again, you mentioned 4.35, most likely projected as a wide receiver at Tennessee, but he can show you a little power, but wastes no time to the corner.
Freezer right here, and he gets to the corner. Look at the hole again. You can see it from the backside from Jones' point of view, and finally brought down. But every time they give it to him on that little end around kind of look, it gives him a chance to take a look at the defense just for a split second and then make his move.
This drive is now 4.5 minutes old. Second man through, big hole, and closes quickly on John Mulhern. Well, Mark Jones, back to him, Mark. Very scary moment earlier in the year. He's missed 3 games, just 3 games. Had a mini stroke. His hand and arm went numb during the Strathaven game.
And here's the guy who stepped in for Mark Jones, John Mulhern, carrying the ball. Actually, Mulhern is the team's leading rusher. I'm sorry, that's Celebrate was the team's leading rusher. Mulhern had 103 carries. He subbed for Mark Jones a good part of the year when Mark Jones suffered a mini stroke.
Celebrate, nothing there. Met head on, John Meardo, 6'1", 260-pounder. He's a block of granite in there. And it's going to be 3rd down. Let's call it about 6 now.
8 guys in the box that time. Just absolutely nothing going up the middle.
We spoke about Mark Jones earlier. After the Upper Darby game, he noticed some numbness in his right arm. Woke up the next morning, and he couldn't move it. And he couldn't pick up the morning paper. So went to the hospital, and they determined that Mark Jones, yes, indeed, suffered a mini stroke. Of course, the coaching staff, Kevin Clancy and his staff, very, very concerned. So they got all kinds of medical clearance, and Mark Jones has been back after a 3-game layoff.
Double handoff to Jones. Didn't get there. Got to the 30. He needs the 27. They were 3 for 3 on 3rd down up until that. That's the 12th play of the drive.
We'll take a look at it right here, and you'll see what happens. Little inside handoffs coming up right here. Now, here's the inside handoff, and then look for the hole. Head right upfield, and he picks up a quick 3 to 4 yard strike.
Nice tackle there.
Kevin Campbell.
He's in the Campbell boys. We'll call their name all night long.
Bunch of guys.
That's Kevin right there.
Bunch of guys from the team go over to the Campbell household and eat dinner Thursday nights prior to the games.
4th and 3. Strathaven crowd on their feet early. Connor for his first throw of the night has time. Now pocket collapses, throws, caught, 1st down. Mulhern to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 5. You can see the effect of that wind. That ball just died in midair, and Mulhern, the presence of mind to have his feet where they needed to be.
Look at the poise of young Mulhern right here. Look, 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 hang on to it, and throw and complete it. Big play by Connor. Looking to Mulhern downfield.
That's a Phil Necro knuckleball. That ball just got in there and just kind of wiggled around. Mulhern kept his concentration and brought it in. Mulhern to the 25. Gain of a yard. Kevin Campbell in on the stop again. Also there for West Allegheny, Mike Bracken, a 6-foot senior.
And the other Campbell boy, Kellen Campbell, the 6-foot junior, also helping his brother.
Well, talk about playing keep away. 5-20, 19, 18. This is the first drive of the football game right here.
This is a pretty good defense they're pushing around, too. West Allegheny recorded 7 shutouts throughout the season.
Playing a 5-2 defense.
Celebrate slithers through for a gain of 2 or 3. Not much in there. You see for Durko on the stack, Kevin Campbell, number 44 for West Allegheny. What a player he is. Well over 100 tackles. Well, 89 tackles coming into this game. 5 for loss, 1 sack, 4 fumble recoveries, and 1 interception.
Evan
Campbell. What more do you want, right?
Yeah, it's, what's that? Good, something like that about the Campbells. I won't go any further.
Well, they're 3 for 4 on 3rd down in this drive. They're facing 3rd and 7. You see Mike Connor radaring the situation.
Coach Bob Polko wants a timeout. He didn't get it.
He's got Jones lined up in a wide receiver spot, and he can't hang on at the 22.
I'm not too sure Jones didn't hear the footsteps of Mike Bracken coming up hard right there. He was getting ready to turn downfield just a little too quickly. Look at this. He's already turning his head, and the ball goes right through his hands.
Yeah, and there you see Bracken coming into your picture. He was very close to Jones.
They'll go back to that, though. Jones, a stick of dynamite. Keep lighting it. It'll go off once or twice on you in the evening, and that's... We talked with Bob Palco, the head coach of West Allegheny, yesterday. He goes, we're going to try and build a fence around him, meaning more or less they'll try and keep him in front.
Right.
4th and 7. They've converted once on 4th down. That was the pass recently. Connor over the middle. Mulhern, nice catch. Fumble. Recovered West Allegheny. On the skin is Chris Leonard at the 12-yard line.
That is going to be one of the keys to this ball game, and that is mistakes. If Strathaven makes mistakes, West Allegheny, they will not. They have not throughout the year. Here you see Mulhern fumble the ball. West Allegheny a plus 29 in the turnover category throughout the season.
They feast on you there, and now we'll see Tyler Palco. Let's look at the West Allegheny offense. There's the quarterback. He's only a sophomore. He's 22-2. Lifetime as a starter. We'll get to there momentarily. This team has some explosive weapons, which we'll talk about. Slappy is into the game along with Alan Miller, the wide receiver. They'll go deep, looking Slappy, and the ball is almost intercepted down there by Tim Bentley. Bentley step for step to the 40-yard line.
That is not unusual for Tyler Palco. As we look at the West Allegheny offense up front, Mitch Fedorko, he anchors it up there.
Mike Hobbs, a veteran center for them.
Adam Tresilla, good group of offensive linemen up front. Tyler Palco, he's a sophomore, yeah, young kid. What's he do? His first game in a major league stadium, Three Rivers Stadium WPIAL final. Just what you saw there. He dropped back, deep pass, 52-yarder to Adam Miller. He's got a lot of poise for a young kid.
If you're going to pass, this is the quarter to
draw this time, getting out in the open spaces for West Allegheny that time. Let's have a look. Looks to be Kellen Campbell's first carry.
Kellen Campbell with a nice job of picking his way through. Watch this. Comes left, comes back right. Nice little jute there. Fights through one tackle. Dives his way out near the 20-yard line.
Yeah, with this win, Strathaven's going to have an effective passing game probably only in the first and third quarters. Wind at their backs right now, so you're right, Gary. This is the quarter to do it. There you see the Strathaven defense, and it's a fine defense as well. 8 shutouts recorded for the Panthers this season.
3rd and 5 for West Allegheny. The wind at their back, 3:30 in the opening quarter. Palco rolls, moves, has a man open, pass is caught. The man that got the fumble, Leonard, still going. 45-50. That's a foot race, still alive, bringing it 20, and the ball is free. That is a live football in the end zone, and it is recovered by Strathaven. You won't see a wackier, wilder play than that.
Wow.
That's going to take a while to unsort, but the bottom line, Strathaven gets the ball on a fumble by Leonard, who must have had it punched out from behind. Let's see this again.
Take a look, and we'll try to freeze it when Leonard loses it here. You see Paco stepping back. Great catch here by Leonard out on the far side. Now he takes off. He's going to fight through 2 tackles here. There's one. He's going to shed another one coming up right about here. Takes off down the field. Now watch right coming up here. Here's where the ball is knocked loose. Nope, sheds it there, and freeze.
It's Mark Jones, who was out of the play initially, came back to pop it out of there. Handoff, Celebre, off tackle, slams for 3 or 4 to the 24-yard line, and a gain of 4.
We get a chance to come back to that again. You'll see Mark Jones reach around with the right hand and then punch it out with the left.
What hustle. He was totally blocked out early in that play.
Stop
never
there.
sold out and gave up.
Here it is.
Here he is.
There's a right hand. Now watch the left hand coming right around and pumping it out. Right there it is.
Mark Jones's 4.3 40 speed just saved a touchdown for Strathaven.
Or at least a sure field goal.
Yeah.
Connor, handoff. This is Jones again. Not much. Still bouncing around. Still alive. Close to a first down. May about a yard shy. They're going to mark him out at about 27. So it's a gain of 4. It'll be 3rd and let's say 3, maybe 4th down rather.
Mark Jones, some good pedigree. His brother Isaac Jones played for Strathaven, now plays for the Indianapolis Colts in the NFL.
Hottest young ticket in the NFL, those young Colts with Peyton Manning. Delighted to have you on exclusive live coverage of the PIAA football championships here on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. There's your time remaining in the opening quarter. See that wind blowing on Mike Connor a little bit. Nice ball fake. Jones has the football, dives for an apparent first down. This may be a mark. It's close. It's a MasterCard.
John
if anything.
Here's the fake motion, and now the handoff to Jones, who goes around the outside, makes it happen himself. And you'll see him come down here very near first down yardage right here on the 30-yard line. He needed to get right here.
Interesting decision. I think they're going to go for it on their own 30. 4th and inches. They'll bring in another tight end, that being Strathaven here, and that is going to be Steve Windsor.
It's against one of the top-rated defenses in the state of Pennsylvania.
We'll isolate that line play on this if we can. 4th and inches at the 30. Handoff, Celebre. First down, Strathaven. Well, the first roll of the dice of the night for Kevin Clancy, and he hit boxcars right there, or more or less hit 2 yards.
Gutsy
That's
move.
risky, isn't it?
Now watch this. Look at the line. The line gives him just enough to get in there. He needed to get to here, and he crosses over it right there.
And when you got a horse like Aaron Carter, you get on and take a ride.
Get on in behind that meat and follow.
275 pounds, and they are swirling all over him at the Division I level. He's going to be a busy young man between now and National Letter of Intent Day in February. Mulhern slams forward. Boy, he got whacked by Tyler Palco to the 33-yard line. That was a collision there.
That was a good shot. Tyler Palco, son of Coach Bob Palco. He put a quarterback shirt on him when he brought him home from the hospital. So the future pro quarterback. Well, you know, he's got a future in football somewhere, I'm sure. He's just a football player back there.
A lot of people think defensively, Mark, he's an absolute knockout prospect there. But you keep throwing 22-2 up as your record as a quarterback. How do you move him?
We need to focus in on that Strath Haven line. They are moving that defensive line off 2-3 yards before the backs are ever hitting it.
Second down, we'll call it 8 now for Strath Haven. Quick hitter celebrate, not much there. Runs into Mitch Fedorko. Fedorko, great player, 6'1", 270. He's a space heater in there, and he's tough to move out of the way.
It's interesting, you see here again, diving into the middle, right over the center that time. You try to dive, your 2 plays in there, and then you get it to Jones where he can work one-on-one on you in the outside on those little mini sweeps.
Final seconds of the opening quarter. Strath Haven facing 3rd and about 6. They may be content to let the quarter go out and then throw with the wind on 3rd and 6 and change directions. Might as well just wait for the wind. That's smart coaching there by Kevin Clancy, and they'll let this thing wind its way out, and that'll do it. Time out of the field at the end of 1 quarter of play. There's your score. There's your storyline. We're coming to you live at the Hershey Park Stadium, where they have done just a magnificent job in hosting this PIAA championship event for the 2nd year. No surprise there. It's got Candy Lane, the Hershey Park across the way. It is a bold atmosphere here. This tournament is really big now in its 12th year mark, and is something we have talked about. We did yesterday during a simulcast on PCN rather, with Speaking of Sports, just how it's energized the state and how it's plugged everybody into high school football, coaches, players, and fans alike.
Oh, no question about it. You look across, and a lot of people have come up from the Strath Haven area, the Delaware County area, and of course West Allegheny. This has energized the entire community of West Allegheny. The football players are very active in the community. They do bank appearances at other local businesses as well. They sell magazines at Pirate games and that type of thing. So this is a true team in every sense of the word, and same with the Strath Haven people. Strath Haven has really taken to this team. It's been a very successful run for this group of seniors, and both of these teams, they're almost identical in that they started practice back in August, and both of them had sights set on back in August on the Hershey Parker Stadium and the championship game, and here they are, dream fulfilled on both counts.
Well, we'll start the 2nd quarter, 3rd and 6 for Strath Haven as we change ends. Now they've got the wind at their back. Handoff goes to Mark Jones, coughing quick, has 5, has a first down, has 10 to the 45. Oh, is he lightning in a bottle.
Watch the initial hole again, 3 yards. The defense has already pushed back off the line of scrimmage when Mark Jones finally gets there, and that's the beauty. Here we go. Here comes the handoff now. Freeze it right there. Look at the room he's going to have here by the time he hits that line of scrimmage. Now let's watch him finish the play. Now he turns in. Has that chance every time to look upfield. Gives you a jute right there, another jute, and then dives for the first down.
Got a big block from Kyle Stevens in that 10-yard run. 1st and 10, Strath Haven. They've moved the chains. They've controlled the clock for the most part here in the opening half. Opening moments, 10:49 to a minute 11. Play action for Connor, throwing with the wind. Now he'll run. He knows what to do with it. Into West Allegheny territory, and lassoed down by Kevin Campbell.
I think you get 2 points for that takedown.
I'll tell you what, that's guts on the part of Mike Connor. No taking a knee there, or the slide into second base. He charges right into the teeth of the storm. Watch this.
Here we go. Now watch Mike Connor. Makes a decision here, and that's what you got to like about your quarterback. Not flashy, and then leaps up in the air.
Look at that circle of red.
And 2 points for the takedown right there.
Strath Haven looking at it at the West Allegheny 48-yard line. That was a gain of 7 for Connor on the keeper. And Mulhern lies forward close to a first down at the 45-yard line. Might be a half-yard shy. Tackle is made for West Allegheny in there.
One of the intangibles here in the first half is you really got to wonder how long this team wants to be on the field defensively on the other side for West Allegheny as Strath Haven continues to control the clock here in the 2nd quarter.
Good look at a player there, Mike Bracken. He's tough. 3rd and 1. Connor Celebrate. First down, Strathaven as he wiggles to about the 42-yard line. It's a gain of 3. 10-10 and counting to go here in this second quarter of play. Still scoreless, although we've had some big plays. There's Pete Celebrate. Celebrate, one of the top runners, is the top runner. Came in with 1,006 yards. Keep in mind, Mark Jones missed 3 games. But Celebrate has had a solid campaign, as you would expect with a team that's 14-0. Connor back, looks, throws, man open. It's Jones. Look at this, 30, 25, and out at the 20. That's Coffey quick to the outside. Put him in the flat, and you are in trouble.
The offensive line continues to dominate here for Strathaven. If we look at the left side this time, look at Freeze. Freeze, take a look at all this space over here. Plenty of time for Connor to set up and throw it. Now watch. He gets his man in the flat. And who better to have out there one-on-one than Mark Jones?
Yeah, the offensive line enables the offense to do so much. And the offensive line, there are a lot of characters on that offensive line. They call themselves the meat wagon. I'll tell you why in a few.
Mulhern off the end, has 5, has 10. Close to it anyway, and another first down. From the 20 to the 2-yard line to about the 11 officially. First down, Strathaven.
These guys on the Strathaven offensive line, Chris Edwards and these fellas that you see leading the way. They're very close, and in spring drills they'd all pile in Chris Edwards' pickup truck and drive to and from practice. So all these big beefy guys in this truck, naturally they named it the meat wagon. The name is carried on throughout the season.
Here's the 13th play of the drive at Celebrate. Pushing to about the 8. Not much room in there.
And even
another methodical drive by Strathaven. They came away empty-handed on their initial possession of the football game.
Not putting points on the board yet, but certainly wearing down the West Allegheny defense as they continue to have to be on the field here most of the first half.
This will be the gift that keeps on giving a little bit later on. They'll start wearing West Allegheny out if this continues. West Allegheny's only had the ball 1 minute and 11 seconds in this opening half. 2nd and 9. Hand off Jones, big hole, booming through, closes quickly. Great play from behind by Kevin Campbell.
Now, as you watch Jones, you notice they never send him north and south. It's always just the swing around left or swing around right. And here's why. It gives him a moment, much as you put a tailback back 7 yards or so, to look over the defense and then make decisions and use his athletic ability and speed to beat the defensive backs.
This is a tricky call here, a sticky wicket, 3rd and 7. It's basically goal to go. They can get a first down at about the half-yard line. Connor, waggle, roll, looking. Connor can run. He knows what to do. Now he goes in, and the wall closes him out at the 3. Leading the way was Chris Leonard, the junior, 6'1", who's recovered a fumble already in this opening half to thwart their initial possession. Here's Connor in the open field.
Good job, though, of sealing off the defensive end and giving Connor the chance to get around the corner and down near first down yardage around the 2-yard line.
Mike Connor, the quarterback, his father on the Strathaven staff, former head coach at, I believe, Upper Darby for 8 years. His brother Jim, a big 33 player a year ago. Here we go, buckle down, 4th and goal. We'll call it 3. The ball at the 3. Hands are on their feet. Hand off Jones, moving forward, touchdown. Strathaven has drawn first blood. 7:25 in the opening half, and Mark Jones has found pay dirt. Strathaven is on the lead, conversion coming.
And again, watch what Jones does here. Right over here on the side, they just give him the ball, pick your hole, and dive in, and there he goes, right into the middle. And Mark Jones in with the first touchdown of the game, and he is as advertised.
His 10th of the season. He has 27 in his career of 50 or more yards. That was a little more muscular from 3 out. Now we've got this weird shift going on. Kevin Clancy, the head coach. We look for the conversion. Snap down, the kick is up, bang, right down the middle, right off the scoreboard. Doink, 7-0, Strathaven. Impressive drive. Gobbles up a lot of time. And the Panthers have drawn first blood and lead at 7-0.
Hey, everything's okay. We're fine. Let's just keep doing what we're doing.
That was a 16-play drive, gobbled up 7 minutes and 25 seconds. That's their second drive of the football game. That's 7+ minutes.
And they have been impressive so far on A, keeping the ball out of West Allegheny's hands, B, gobbling up the clock, and C, putting the first score on the board here in the first half.
Yeah, that's right. And West Allegheny, I mean, Coach Bob Palco, he writes 3 things on the chalkboard before every game. Be physical, and their defense was physical during that drive. They were very physical, and they did a fairly decent job. Number 2, play with poise. And you know what? They came out and they did play with poise. They had a big play, but it didn't turn out so well. The fumble into the end zone. Strath takes over. That turnover hurt a little bit. We'll see how they come out for that. And the other one, play with one heartbeat as a team. We'll see how, on their second offensive possession, see how they regroup under young Tyler Palco.
Strath run 33 offensive plays to 3 for West Allegheny. Getting out of there, Alan Miller. He's got positive yardage. Still alive to the 36. Positive return by Alan Miller. Well, since we haven't seen West Allegheny on offense, but for about 4 or 5 plays, only a minute 11, let's reintroduce the West Allegheny offense while we have this opportunity. With 7:15 to go in the opening quarter. Talked a lot about Tyler Palco, who's thrown for 356 yards in the last 2 weeks. And the Strath defense, there is a look at that. John Mulhern, great linebacker for them. Pete Celebre, we called an awful lot. Secondary, and Mark Jones plays there. Watch Mark Zangrilli, number 4 in your program. It's 1st and 10. Ball at the 35. Quick handoff, Campbell. Campbell still going, pounding to the 41, a gain of 6.
That's just old-time smash mouth football right there. Just give it to Campbell, let him go right up the gut. He'll carry 4 guys for the last 4 yards.
Tyler Palco over for a chat with his father, Bob. They practiced yesterday at Central Dauphin High School. George Chomp, the head coach at Central Dauphin, who coached at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Marshall, assistant under Woody Hayes at Ohio State. Gave Bob Palco his first coaching job at IUP in the mid-80s. Right now, 2nd and 4. It's going to be Campbell again. Not much there. He's about a yard shy of the first down. Check that. Yeah, it is Kellen Campbell. Just say Campbell and you're all right for the most part, Mark. Those guys do a lot of work. Very productive players. Both brothers, not twins. One's a junior, the other's senior.
Right. Yeah, you were mentioning Bob Palco and his relationship with George Chomp. They came in last night, and he called up his former mentor, George Chomp, and Coach Chomp allowed them to practice on the Central Dauphin field, which is only about 10 miles away.
Palco, keeper, first down. West Allegheny has to move the chains here to keep their deep off, although, you know, in this level you've got guys playing both ways, but there he is. He's only a sophomore. Mentioned his record at 22-2.
You talk about a good surge that time. You saw the red move forward, really dominate the line of scrimmage, give Tyler Palco the 3 yards he needed for a first down.
Mentioned up until this drive, Strath had run 33 plays on offense to just 3 for West Allegheny. Of course, the big fumble by Leonard into the end zone. Handoff, Campbell ran right into Carter. Mulhern there to clean up on that at the line of scrimmage. Mono against mono, and here the official. Take it easy. Doesn't want anybody losing their temper in there.
Take a look here.
Officials Frank D'Angelo.
Look at the wall right there. Just rise up in front of the red that time. In the form of the Strath defense, they really were jammed in on the run.
John Mulhern's only a junior. I mean, this Strath team has a lot of underclassmen. I mean, you're talking about a team here that was only a point away from this game a year ago, lost to the eventual state champion Allentown Central Catholic 13-12 in the Eastern Final, and their goal was to get back here and rectify that. Here's the pitch. First carry for Jamie Fitzgerald. Look out! And he's all the way down to the Strath 37-yard line. That's a rip right there. He came in from Ambridge High School, and this guy's coffee quick and gives him a nice bolt, a caffeine bolt to the outside.
Freeze it right there. You're going to see Trisilla and Campbell out there leading the charge downfield. Now watch the room in behind. Here we go.
Jamie Fitzgerald has been a huge help for them, has given them fresh legs off that bench. Their leading rusher with 624 yards. That time he had the quickness, got the lane, got the corner, positive yardage, a gain of 18. West Allegheny, Fitzgerald a second time, finds the wall a little bit more stern to the 34, a gain of 3.
Get off it from the top. Good job, gentlemen.
Good job that time, too, of blocking out on either side of that right. So watch this. Here we go. We're going to block out here, and we're going to block out here, and here's the hole that opens up right in here.
2nd and 8.
Think we'll get this thing back from him, Mark?
Never.
Give a coach a toy and look out.
Well, it's kind of like giving us an Etch-a-Sketch. You know, we go forever.
Yeah.
There are about 5 coaches up here today doing various radio and things, and they're all playing with it between games today. Handoff Campbell, quick hitter, slams forward. That's a bear and a shot carry to the 28-yard line, short of a first down. It's a gain of about 7.
Did you hear that Mulhern-Campbell collision?
Mike, 3rd down and 2.
Sounded like 2 cars hitting one another out on Route 322. That was a collision there, about 4 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Put the head down, put the shoulder down, and they probably both just got up and patted each other and said, way to go. That was nice.
That's football.
3rd and 2 now for West Allegheny. They've done well on 3rd down in this drive, this surge. They're down by 7. Second quarter action. Delighted to have you on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Should be a great one here in AAA. Handoff, second man through this time, and a first down carry for Kellen Campbell, the junior. As he slips and slides to the 26-yard line.
There you see Mulhern.
Only a term to describe the run, the field. Brilliant shape. There he is.
And all he needed was that little sliver of space right over in here to get through, and you saw him kind of dive through very quickly. It's been a really well thought out drive here by West Allegheny.
Jed, bring the chains on to make sure, as you can hear Frank D'Angelo talking about.
Jed, earlier you mentioned Strath Haven, and they have some very fine juniors and underclassmen on this team, as we saw John Mulhern, just a junior. But for the seniors, what a ride it's been. The Panthers won the first of 4 straight District 1 championships back in 1996. And they're going to leave the high school setting here, the seniors tonight, having achieved success along the same line of maybe those great Ridley programs during the early 80s and 90s in the Delaware County League. 4 Central League crowns, district crowns, a quartet of state tournament appearances, 50 wins in 4 seasons. So an impressive resume for the Strath Haven seniors taking it into the game tonight.
Palco on a keeper, wide open, 20, 15, has the 10, and all the way to the 4-yard line. They'll officially mark him out at the 7. It's a gain of 20. It's 1st and goal to go.
This is all reminiscent of the old wishbone, Jed, as we watch it. Now watch him right here, freeze. Puts the ball right in his chest. He really sells this. Campbell looks like he's got it. Now watch, he pulls it right back out, and will take off right around the corner here and head down for another first down.
Yeah, you saw Steve Windsor, the outside linebacker, bite on that fake. Palco, quarterback sneak last week in the Western Final, gained 41 yards.
There's blood on the arm of Kevin Campbell, and they want that attended to.
You know, one of the things you've got to
right there.
One of the things you've got to love about Tyler Palco, if you're his dad, it's like having an extension of you on the field. All coaches, I don't care what sport it is, look for an extension of themselves on the field, and what better extension to have than someone from your own family you can talk football with all the time.
Well, another hustle play by Mark Jones, because this is tricky. 1st and goal from the 8. I mean, this is no easy mark against the Strath Haven defense. Handoff, Fitzgerald, and a power toss to about the 3. Well, Fitzgerald didn't waste any time, Mark. I mean, they're talking about a guy here, finds the corner, and has one goal in mind. That's get to it quickly.
And boy, did he follow his blockers very nicely. Left side of the line had a good push, and Fitzgerald had a nose for the end zone, but stopped just shy at the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 3.
Kellen Campbell in with a play, Joe Slappy as well, and Fitzgerald will take a seat. 2nd and goal, the ball at about the 3.5. West Allegheny trying to get back on even terms, down 7, but goal to go. Handoff, it's going to be Campbell, nothing there. Tackle made for Strath Haven, Steve Windsor, the 5'11 junior outside linebacker. There to pull the rug at the 4.
It's a great play by Windsor. Look at this, he's blocked. And he still arm tackles Campbell.
Shut off the inside and forced him to get to the outside where he get some help. He slowed him down and then got the rest of the help, but knocked him down.
And Kevin Mudrick was also in there underneath. And we got a timeout. Strath Haven wants to talk things over. 3rd and goal at the 4. That play lost a yard. There's Steve Windsor right there, who was in on that play.
You almost think on this play, Jed, that they have to go to some kind of play action passing where they're going to get a sprint out type look and maybe try to go to the end zone that way, or have the option to run in himself.
Now, the wind's not a factor this close to the end zone. It's a factor, though.
That's maybe the
20 to 30 miles an hour.
Most athletic defensive play we've seen all night right there from number 84, Steve Windsor.
West Allegheny talking things over. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down so far, all of it of which has happened on this drive. As you look at Kevin Clancy, head coach of Strath. What a program he's got going on in Delaware County. I mean, this is one of the chalk programs in AAA. They rubbed out a good Manheim Central team in the East Final last week. Jeff Smoker on his way to Michigan State for Manheim Central.
Coach,
they held him to 109 yards in the air last week, Mark.
You know, a lot of people, too, observers of the PIAA football, have compared Tyler Palco to a Jeff Smoker when he was a sophomore. Jeff Smoker, of course, a Manheim Central, longtime starter there. And they say not so much the skills, but the poise and kind of wise beyond your years.
And the running ability. Here we go. The moment of truth. 3rd and goal at the 4. Quick handoff. This Alan Miller looking to throw it into the end zone. Man open, slappy, and he can't hang on at the corner. Play looked good. Nice idea. Tough cover. Good coverage. Josh Hannum, the sophomore. Pretty good throw by Miller considering the circumstances, and now Bob Palco with a tough decision. He's going to kick.
Well, they never let Miller get set there, and they actually moved him back away from the goal line, and that was the beauty of the defense for Strath Haven. Forced him to throw it off balance and rushed him just a little bit, so the play really never set up the way they had conceived it.
Derek Javerone into the game. He's got 7 field goals already on the season. This will be about a 20-yarder into the win. Palco on the hole, but don't be surprised if there is a fake. You always have to keep that in mind. Interesting angle, they'll kick, and it is no good. It slid wide left.
Take a look at the way the kicker set up. If we can see it again, it was a really sharp angle that he set up on and kind of side-swiped it. Never really got the good loft. Now watch, he's setting up a real sharp angle here, and now he's going to kind of swing that leg really sideways and never got the height on it, never got the action on it that he wanted.
Mark Jones has saved 14 points now for Strath Haven with this hustle, because he's the one that ran Palco down at the 8, and it was 1st and goal from the 8, and they have an empty trip on a missed field goal.
You know, no less of an authority than Berwick head coach George Curry saw Mark Jones play, and he says that kid's going to play on Sunday.
That was a 12-play drive. Here's Jones on the offensive side. That's where he really likes to get things moving to the 23-yard line, a gain of 3. Good play, Tyler Palco, and on the stop also there is Alan Miller for West Allegheny.
Let's freeze it here again. Take a look. Every time he gets it, you've got this little space right here, and that's the moment that his window opens up. He's looking, clear it away, and you can see what he does. Just pick out the spot and go.
Junior Pat Patel. Also in on the stop was Manny Rojas for West Allegheny. Final minute 25 of this opening half. It's been fast moving because we have 3 time-consuming drives. Celebre on the handoff to about the 27-yard line. He's caught by, well, who else? Number 44 in your program. That's Mr. Campbell, Kevin Campbell. 7 tackles, 5 assists so far in this game. His numbers adding up.
There you see it again. Number 44 ever present right down here in the bottom of the pile all night long.
3rd and 4, Mark. I feel a gadget play. Something real long coming from Miller, or from Connor, the quarterback.
Well, you know, they've been known to send Mark Jones out in the slot as a wingback. So he is right now.
They're back. Connor rolling. Connor looks, throws, man, no! It's caught by Jones to the 40 and a 1st down. That'll stop the clock. 39 seconds while they move the chains.
Let's look where he lined him up that time. Here we go. They're going to line him up over here on this side. He comes right down and across to here, and we'll see him catch the ball right down in here.
They still have 2 timeouts. Boy, that's a tough throw right there.
There it is.
Tougher catch on the other end.
Good lead and a little down and in.
Reminds me a little bit of Rocket Ismail. Fair statement, Mark?
Yeah, no question.
There he is this time.
Connor drops. Connor looks. He's loading long. Looking Jones. He can't catch up with that one.
I think
he's a 4.35. He needed to be about a 2.35 40 to get there.
I think that got caught up into a tailwind. You know, Connor has the luxury of just throwing the ball up there and watching Mark Jones run under it, because 9 times out of 10, maybe Mark Jones catches up with that thing. So, yeah, that's a good. That's not a bad gamble to take.
People always talk, though, about throwing into the wind and how hard it is sometimes to throw with the wind. Like right now, get a little tailwind behind you, and it's very, very hard to put touch on it.
Yeah, that clearly sailed on Connor.
I went about 50, 60 yards in the air. Our backs are in an open set, maybe to pick up a blitz. Connor back, waits for Jones to clear. Now he's really under the gun. And he gets something positive out of it, about the 43-yard line. Clock continues to wind. I think they're just content to run the half and go in with a lead.
Good move by Mike Connor to hold on to that ball. He was looking for Miller out on the flats, but Mike Bracken came up from his defensive cornerback spot.
There's Jones. Now watch, good job by Bracken of taking Jones away and then allowing the defensive line to get up and put the pressure on Connor.
We'll have a message for you here at halftime from the Pennsylvania Cable Network, and then we'll be back with highlights and the start of the second half. Tomorrow we're up at high noon, Mount Carmel out of the Easton AA against Tyrone, a rematch from 1996. The main event tomorrow, quad.
Of course, Mount Carmel, the defending champion from last year again, and Whitey Williams brings another outstanding squad in here, and Tyrone, the pretender to the crown.
And you got another defending champ in Quad A, the number 3 team nationally, Central Bucks West, against the 9th national ranked team, that's being Erie Cathedral Prep. They say one of the best Erie teams to come out in a long, long time.
It's all those smiles from the cheerleaders down there, but that belies the cold that's good down in that field right now.
Somebody throw them a blanket, man. It's chilly. Temperatures have dropped a little bit. 4 seconds. Just throw a Hail Mary, hope for a bounce. Maybe a ricochet rabbit bounce. Well, they're going to give it to Jones. He's into the open field. Jones still alive. Better put that fire out, and they finally do, and snuff him down at about the 39, and that'll do it.
As explosive as Mark Jones is, that's like having a long bomb in your backfield at any time in this ball game.
Certainly something that's a bubble that hangs over the head of every defensive player out there. Time out of the field. We'll go to the break. It's Strath Haven on the lead, 7-0. Third quarter action is next. You're watching high school football. This is the Pennsylvania Cable Network.
Reports within 24 hours. We read them, we assess them, and try to move the people that grade out the best on.
One of the things that's most impressive for us upstairs right now, we have instant replay, which most of the fans here don't have. But even on the plays we've heard boos today, we've seen it again. They've gotten it right all day long.
Well, we have 7 on the field, and that's important. We've done that for now about 6 years. And you have people in good quality position that are moving, that know the mechanics and positioning of a 7-man game. And you know what? It takes away a lot of the guesswork because they're right there and they just make the call.
One of the other things that's been most impressive in the tournament thus far, and I think every year we see a PIAA football championship, is the preventative style of officiating. Taking care of problems before they really ever get started. You can hear the officials talking all the time.
Well, I think most of our officials were athletes, so they know how it is to be on the other side of the ball, so to speak. And I think the best part of them is it's part of the educational experience. It's an extension of the classroom, and they want to make it a first-rate game, so they handle things not as just punitive from a referee, but an official works the game with the kids and the coaches.
Well, Bob, Hershey's a sweet place. This has been a sweet tournament so far, and we thank you for the great job you've been doing, along with all your staff and volunteers.
Well, thank you very much, Gary, and the best to everyone out there. I hope they come out and enjoy the games.
Dr. Lombardi, the Associate Executive Director of the PIAA, and now back upstairs.
Earlier this afternoon, Southside Beaver won the Single A championship 27-21 in a great one against Southern Columbia. Well, West Allegheny, this win marked significant. I was out there a little bit. It's tough out there.
Yeah, it sure is. West Allegheny will be moving left to right now on your television screen, so they will have the wind at their backs for this third quarter of play. And what that means for West Allegheny is, okay, you can crank up that big play possibility. Tyler Palco, the quarterback, can start looking deep for receivers. And what that means for Strath Haven is their secondary heads up. Tight coverage, man-to-man, limit the big play capability. Keys to the ball game in the second half for Strath Haven. Keep on keeping on. Nice mix of run and throw. Mark Jones is very effective. Try to keep Mark Jones from getting outside is the key for West Allegheny. They want to try to contain him, keep that ball up front. And also, one more key, no mistakes for West Allegheny. They come into this game in the turnover ratio of plus 29. So,
besides playing well, you made us look good, and that's not an easy chore. Continue to do so in the second half.
Exactly
it's your choice. You want the football. Is that correct? The goal you choose to defend is which one? The scoreboard. Place your backs to it. West Allegheny face them. I'm going to take a shoulder from you, 63.
All right, West Allegheny is going to go with the win.
It is the red team's choice, and they'll receive to start the second half.
Strath Haven got the ball to start the football game. Play keep away. There it is, rippling through. the Hershey Park Stadium. What a job. Scott Mullen, general manager here, the entire staff, Tom Stevens, operations manager, has done so many great things for me personally, making sure that we keep things going from our radio angles and things along those lines.
Hey, also a tip of the headset to the camera crew and the audio guys here from WITF TV. They have given us every angle and have covered this nook and cranny so that you, the viewer, really get the feel of being here. And actually, you know, sometimes I say that football's a better sport on TV. And I tell you what, with the technical crew that is presenting this game, they make it a better sport on TV.
Tell you what, the flagpole is...
There's some of the guys.
Wiggling back and forth. There we go. That's not easy standing there.
Heck no.
Shooting pictures and they're agreeing.
There's an audio
Worked with
engineer.
them for a lot of years, Mark, the whole gang, and they're just brilliant. Makes life so easy. Mark Jones kicking off. And here we go, the second half. West Allegheny, Alan Miller, he's a burner, look out, and tackled at the 47. Saving potentially worse damage, Mark Zanarelli.
Stay there,
That
John.
is a big-time play in special teams. 37-yard return for Alan Miller.
Look at the wedge.
Zanarelli with a huge play because Miller was one step away from pay dirt.
What we say about West Allegheny's big play potential right off the bat in the second half. There they are, approaching midfield.
Miller averages 27 yards a touch. Right up the middle of the quarterback keeper to midfield goes Tyler Palco.
Hey, he took one of those for a touchdown last week.
Celebrate and on the tackle. Tell you what, Strathaven again, 30-21 against Manheim Central last week.
2nd and 6.
Big sack, Aaron Carter of Jeff Smoker in the end zone, and they were on their way.
Oh, and I'll tell
State
you what,
championship.
Coach Kevin Clancy of Strathaven said Aaron Carter pulled him out of the fire. He elected to go for it on 4th down. The pass fell incomplete. They handed the ball back to Smoker in a tie game, and Aaron Carter comes up with a huge play.
Tonight they got their touchdown on 4th and goal. Campbell on the carry. He's been a stalwart defensively. This time he whips through the revolving door for a gain of maybe a yard or two. Steve Windsor in on the stop. Also there is Mulhern for Strathaven.
3, Mike. Spot if we need it.
Number 63, John Mirdu, 6'1", 260-pound defensive lineman, a senior, limping off the field for West Allegheny.
Here are the
being attended
officials.
to.
We have the mic. They do a wonderful job. Are you okay? This is a very animated crew here for this AAA final. They're talking with the players, letting them know 3rd and 3. This is a big down.
Watch number 7, Josh Hannon, split out wide left.
West Allegheny with a win. Play action. Palco throws. Man open. Caught. Bracken. First down to the Strathaven 38-yard line. It's a gain of 9, and it'll move the chains. But again, Mark, got to talk about it. They're with the win. Gary, talk us through this.
There it is. Play action pass, freeze the linebackers, and a nice little touch pass with the win out to the flat. A safe pass, not long downfield, but effective yardage.
I got to think, though, Mark, it's kind of like in baseball. It's a 6-inning game because the bullpen's so big. Here, you've got the win. You've only got 10:28 to play with.
This is their last quarter with the win.
This is Campbell. Step around move. Nice yardage to the 30-yard line. A gain of 8.
Big
Picking
guy
them off in big chunks now.
Big guy gave you a little finesse there. He stopped at a dime and then went left right there. Watch this. He's going to come right through here, stop on a dime in here, and then just turn left and head upfield. Beautiful play there. Look at that hole open up and then close down quickly.
That's Kellen Campbell. Kevin Campbell, call their name all night long. Huge possession here for Strathaven, trailing 7-0. 9:57 and counting to go in this 3rd quarter of play. Only been 2 in AAA out of the West. Erie Strong Vincent, the last in 1980 or 1990, I believe. First down carry to about the 27-yard line. Close enough for a measurement? We're going to find out. They are going to bring the chains.
You really got to be impressed with both offensive lines. And as you see the hole open up again and Campbell able to slither through and get close to first down yardage. And you talk about those offensive lines, Fedorico, Roberto, John Mirdo, Mike Hobbs, Adam Tresilla. Those guys have been opening up holes all night long.
I think he's got the first down.
Stevie, keep the ball there then. First
They just
down.
want to make sure. I mean, you're in the 15th week of the season. It's got to be tough, Garrett, from a coach's standpoint. You know something's dinged up here. not everybody's healthy, and the mental strain of going through 15 weeks.
But the mental takes over the physical now. The emotional takes over the physical, and any little nicks, bruises, or cuts you have all become secondary to the emotional feeling you have and the mental feeling you have about playing in the state championship.
And that theory also is playing with the weather elements. Kellen Campbell slices through, but Mulhern is there to wrap him around the ankles and limit that yardage to about a 2-yard gain. Mulhern's been sensational today on defense for Strathaven. He's been a rock of granite in there.
See Mulhern right down here in the bottom of the pile, number 33, wrapping up another big tackle.
Only a junior. Underneath 9 minutes to go. There you're looking at him right there. 6'1", 210. He's one of the building blocks for Strathaven in the year 2000. 2nd and 10 now. No gain on that play. Play action, Palco. He's dangerous out here. He's going to tuck it up and run. Step around, move 20. Has the 15 and a first down. Close. Oh, they could have gotten a 15-yard penalty. He may have 1 foot out and 1 in, and that's why Strathaven may have ducked some further damage.
What great field vision by the young Tyler Palco. Watch this. He really wants to look for a receiver downfield, but there's great coverage by the Strathaven secondary.
Right here, stop. He gets the defender to stand up, shoots, and then back around the outside, picks up another 10 yards as a result of that fake.
There's where it is. Oh, he had 1 foot in. If he's out of bounds, that could lead to a 15-yard penalty. Good non-call that time by the officials. They were right there on the spot. 1st and 10. It's getting interesting, isn't it? Ball at the 13-yard line. Handoff, Kevin Campbell. He slices and dices inside the 10 to the 8. It's a gain of 5. And Mark, they're beginning to take it off in chunks now. On 1st down, it's a gain of 5. Positive yardage. They're getting thrust.
What helped here was the tackle actually added about 3 yards. See the tackle there pushes him forward just for about 3 extra yards here, and that's exactly what you hope for if you're in the red team.
West Allegheny must score with a win.
They have a very balanced offense. They mix the run and the pass very well, and also they have a very good field goal kicker, Derek Javarone. He's been very hot, even though he missed one tonight. He's kicked a field goal in each of West Allegheny's 4 playoff games. He's made 7 of 8 extra points.
Palco, handoff, Kellen Campbell rips inside the 5, close to a first down at the 4-yard line. It's about a yard shy, I believe. Maybe a yard and a half or so.
Doesn't matter if they call Kevin or Kellen. It's a special K every time they go up the gut, and they have been going there often tonight.
10th play of the drive upcoming now for West Allegheny. Tyler Palco running over to his father, Bob. How far has West Allegheny come? 1995, Bob Palco's first year, apologized to Joe Hamilton, the head coach of Blackhawk, for not giving a tougher game. They've won 2 of the last 3 WPILs. They're looking to strike among the pantheon of the gold medal game. Palco for the touchdown. They're a point away from tying the football game with 7:16 remaining in the 3rd quarter. West Allegheny charges back with a 10-play gritty drive to start the 3rd quarter. Palco finishes it off from 8.
Stop right here. Now take a look. Here Palco has a choice. He can basically pitch to the outside over here, or he can turn upfield and run it in. And it's his choice there. Let's watch what he does. You see him give that little shoulder move and now just dive for the goal line.
Javarone on for the conversion. Palco to hold. Anytime a quarterback's a holder, you never know. I'm sure they'll kick here, especially with the wind at the back. Kick up, and it is good. Clutch drive for West Allegheny to start the 3rd quarter. A 10-play march to pay dirt, and we are tied at 7. And here's why.
Give your quarterback options. Give him the option to run, or the option to pass, or the option to pitch. And that's exactly what they did there for Tyler Palco. Any one of the 3, he chose to run and had the wide open hole to the end zone.
Don't want to totally illustrate this too much, Mark, but you really get a feeling being out there, the wind, they had to do something with it at their back.
Right, yeah, they wasted an opportunity in the 1st quarter with the wind at their back. They had that big play, the big turnover where Strathaven took over, and then a time-consuming drive, a 7-minute drive. So they only had 1 possession in the 1st quarter. They only peeled off 3 plays in the 1st quarter with the wind at their back. This time, 3rd quarter, they get the opening kick, get a good return, march down the field in 10 plays, and punch it in for pay dirt to tie this ball game 7-7. A 2-yard touchdown run from Tyler Palco.
7 minutes and 16 seconds. That's a 10-play drive.
Maybe we can get a picture of the American flag up in the right-hand corner of the end zone and give you an idea of just how stiff that wind is. The flag is straight out there, I mean, you can't really get the feel for it looking at these pictures right here, but believe us, the wind is blowing flat out hard.
That's a 4-minute, 44-second drive. And now we'll see what Strathaven can do. There you get an idea of it. Even the American flag that's over by the scoreboard, that thing's stiff in the air. Mark Jones, he's going to get an opportunity. He's electric. Goes to the 10. They're all over him, though, at the 13-yard line. Well, Big Mo called momentum. West Allegheny goes on defense, riding the wave right now. Strathaven trying to weather a storm in this third quarter.
Kind of like a tennis game right here. When you have the win with you, you've got to score points. When you've got it against you, you've got to hold serve. And that's really what the name of the game is here in this football game. There you see Mark Jones with nowhere to go, and a Red Sea does not part in front of him.
Somebody's blowing bubbles in the stands. They're
there you see the flag.
all over the place.
That flag is flat out right there, and you can see the kind of wind they have to look at here tonight.
Old Glory, quick handoff. Nothing doing for Mulhern. He runs headstrong into West Allegheny's John Mirdo, 6'1", 260. He's a handful in there. Defensive lineman.
In that this game has produced just 2 touchdowns.
Ryan Mixter, too.
It's no big surprise. Strathaven 8 shutouts. They gave up 20 regular season points total. From October 1st to November 19th, the Strathaven Panthers gave up just 3 points. That's incredible. It's just as impressive on the West Allegheny side of the ball defensively.
Mark Jones, his first carry of the second half. Coffey quick to the outside, has the corner, has 5, has 10. Look out to the 29-yard line. Flag flies, might be a personal foul. We'll see if they count it out or got a face mask. This will be interesting. We'll let
Father
Frank D'Angelo to sort it out.
Father just gave son a little bit of a tongue lashing there on the sideline as Tyler Palco.
Freeze it right there. Take a look. It's a foot race to the corner. Who's going to get there first? Mark Jones. And when he does, it's nothing but danger. Look at this.
15 yards from right there. Ball, give us a football.
Personal foul penalty against West Allegheny.
There you see, could be a face mask, actually a personal foul. In this case, you could have made a case for either.
And watch this on the left-hand side. That's right in front of his dad, Bob Palco. And he gives his son a little bit of a talking to after that personal foul.
That'll move the ball all the way out of the 42-yard line. That's the first penalty of the football game.
No, there's
That's
a rule,
how well played it has been.
A rule in basketball, Jed, that fouling negates hustle. I would think penalties negate hustle in football just as well.
Big break, and Mark Jones can get to the corner, celebrate, pounding, churning, working to the 48-yard line. A gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4. This creates some options here, maybe for some short play action. You really can't get too vertical against the teeth of this wind.
Watch the right side of this line. Chris Edwards, the right tackle, just moving the pile back at 265 pounds.
Positive motion by Celebrate, always churning forward, that big long body out in front.
There's Mike Connor. He's the junior quarterback, heady player. Jones has an escort service, step around move, first down. They're trying to get the ball out of there, and he's tough enough to hang on for dear life at the 48, but it's a Strathaven first down.
Again, those little options that you see where he comes out around the side. Look, it's a constant 4 yards, 3 yards in front of him. You see here, right down here, wide open spaces. Look at that. Nobody gets him for the first 6 yards.
Jones so quick, he almost outran his block that time from Pat Patel. Just that play to get to the outside. The 3 West Allegheny players had the angle, and Jones still got the corner. Quick handoff, Celebrate, big hole, make this Mulhern. Slams across the 40 to the 39, short of a first down, but Strathaven beginning to muscle it up now.
Stay down.
And we got a player down for West Allegheny.
Right there, blocking on the left side is absolutely stalwart so far as we see a big hole open up again for Mulhern to dance through.
Hey, get the huddle going.
Player down is Mike Bracken, the senior. And I think he looks like he's okay. He's got a bit of a stinger. He's going to have to come out.
You're going out for a play. No, you can't come out until we tell you.
We can go back to that last play again, Jed. One of the things that we're seeing right now, there were 9 guys in the box that time for West Allegheny.
He's got the Mulhern flu there for a little bit.
Yeah, and watch this on the left side. If we could freeze it right here. Take a look. Look at the blocking right here, pushing out here, double teaming on that side, and the hole that's going to open up comes right through here. Watch this. Go ahead. Right on through and follow through that hole. Mulhern makes it look like a Mack truck could drive through it.
Handoff, I believe this is Jones. First down, Strathaven. Maybe Celebrate. He's only 5'8", kind of gets lost in the mail in there among the big guys. But it's a gain of 5 and a first down to the 32-yard line.
Bracken's back in. I noticed, too, that the West Allegheny players now have a tendency to, they're trying to strip the ball from guys like Celebrate. We saw it on Mark Jones 2 plays ago. These guys are powerful runners. That is not recommended. Tackling up high, especially these quality runners.
Here's Mark Jones. They couldn't get the outside sealed, so he's just going to run by it anyway to the 26-yard line. Gain of 7. There he is, off to the University of Tennessee. He is one of the top players in this state this year, and here's why to the corner.
Nothing fancy. Give it to him. Let him take over athletic ability. Get around the corner, head through the gate, and then dive for extra yardage. You know, it's interesting. They beat the left side of that line for 3 straight plays, and then they give it to Jones and let him take off.
Drip, 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 like a faucet in your sink, right?
Well, you lower
you down.
Pull that defense in and then stretch them out.
Connor, second handoff through as Jones. Ball is down, and it's covered up by West Allegheny on the turnover. Did they mark that down?
They're going to
West
say
Allegheny's on it. John Meardo's there.
I think the ball hit the ground first. Let's take a look at it.
Ooh, I think that was out. We'll see.
We'll watch right here on the replay.
Jones was already by the play.
Here it is. Ball down right there. Good call by the official.
Good call.
Brown can't cause the fumble. That was close, though.
Oh, yeah.
A little too close for comfort for Kevin Clancy. Strathaven dodged a bullet there. Jones the second time around. Make it Celebrate to the 19-yard line. Another first down. It's a gain of 5. Well, they're just peeling him off again. Celebrate is their leading rusher, coming in with 1,006 on the year.
I'll tell you, you know, when you have to deal with Celebrate and Jones, it's like facing a fastball and a curveball. I mean, Mark Jones is he glides. He's so smooth. He's a shifty runner, and then you have the just brute force of a guy like Celebrate. It's very tough for a defense to change up on that.
The Mulhern gives you a combination of both, a little bit of a change-up. Here's Jones again. Big hole has 5 and about 11-yard line. That's a gain of 8.
Look at how Mark Jones just glides along the line of scrimmage, just so graceful, and he picks his hole.
Stop again. Here we are. Take a look. He's right here. Now he's got a choice. He can go to the outside, or depending upon where this block comes, he can move the inside. Let's take a look at what he chooses this time. Block out, go to the inside, and there you are.
That's just
Pat
great
Patel
instinct.
is having a great game at the right guard spot today for Strathaven. 2nd and 2. The ball at the 11. Handoff. This is going to be Celebrate. Big hole has the 5-yard line, and they're knocking on the door. 1st and goal.
You talked about Patel. Carter, number 77. Patel, 55. Andre Moore at 56, the left guard. The right tackle, Chris Edwards at 76, and Zach Love at 72, the left tackle. Those guys have just been superb blocking up front.
Yeah, the couple of offensive linemen just came up and high-fived each other after that last play. They knew they did a great job, and they knew they'd done a great job this entire drive. Yeah, the meat wagon's got it cranked up tonight.
Mark Jones, by the way, with 18 carries for 107 yards. Connor, handoff to Jones. Jones picking his way, not going to get much. Kevin Campbell from behind that time. Also there, I believe, is Meardo and Mitch Fedorko, the senior.
Watch 61 here, the pulling guard, helping to lead the way. And this time it doesn't really open up for Jones. It closes down quickly. Good defense that time by West Allegheny, and you see Campbell leading the way.
Campbell's 9th tackle of the day after a yard. Looking right there. Some of the Strathaven front wall.
Whenever they run Jones on the outside, they love to pull that guard right away and get that extra blocker out there in front, and that's the reason he's getting so many yards. By the time he gets to the line of scrimmage, it's already 2-3 yards ahead.
2nd and goal at the 4. They're not in yet. Good play underneath that time. Adam Tresilla. He's 6'7", 297. They needed all of it here.
Little smash mouth right there as they try to test the line with Celebrate, and it's not going to work this time.
That is a big man right there.
We like those big guys.
Celebrate with 17 carries for 46 yards. This game has been played on the ground. 3rd and goal from the 3. The West Allegheny fans know the importance of this. Handoff Jones, slicing, dicing, close, touchdown, Strathaven. They're back on the lead with an impressive drive. The answer against the wind. They go the length of the field and take the lead. 13-7 conversion coming with 42 seconds left in the third quarter, and Jones has found it again. His 11th touchdown of the year, his second of the night.
On exactly the same call that they scored the first touchdown on. You watch it here. Great blocking up front. Jones just gets in behind and then dives for the line. Nothing fancy about that one.
On for the conversion, Zanarelli. Snap down, kick. This a big one, and it is gone. It barely got through. We should get a replay of that. That ball died.
I hit a wall, and that's how stiff this
Well,
wind
watch the
is.
kicker. He gets there almost too early.
I've never seen an extra point look like a 65-yard field goal attempt.
I'll show you what happens here. The kicker gets there too early. The spot isn't even down yet, and by the time he gets to it, he literally almost balloons it straight up.
It's amazing the effect of the wind. Watch this here.
He's already on the way. Now watch. It's not down yet. It's not down yet. Now all of a sudden, just the last second, he kind of slips under it, and then the wind just kind of catches it and hangs it.
Normal conditions, though, that still had plenty of mustard to cross the crossbar, but
that's a big
my gosh,
point, too, in this football
that sure
game.
is a
They
big
usually
point.
sell those over here in Hershey Park, the helium balloons. That one kind of hung there forever.
Man. That's an 86-yard drive, 13 plays that chewed up 6 minutes and 34 seconds. There's the flag, Old Glory herself. And that flagpole is moving back and forth.
And if you're Strath Haven right now, you're happy because that's going with you in the fourth quarter, and it's going to be a big plus. You can see the crowd, huddled masses, yearning to be warm.
Look at all that hair blowing left to right. That's the way West Allegheny is going to move for the next 42 seconds. But
look at that, a big lineman on that. I think covering that was Trisilla, 6'7". I think. Nope, not Trisilla, but make that Mitch Fedorko.
Mitch Fedorko, 270 pounds.
Trying to put a fork in it over there at the 34.
Well,
42 seconds left.
When Fedorko covers it, it's going to take a little while to get it back.
We're in the third quarter. That's an impressive 86-yard drive, all on the ground for Strath Haven.
If you're West Allegheny, do you take a shot deep, use the wind
think
at your
so.
back?
I think you got to try and do some play action, but
The final gasp with the wind right now. You got to take advantage of it.
they got single coverage with Joe Slappy. You can see him off your screen, and I think somebody may have lined to the neutral zone. Let's see.
Timeout.
Timeout. West Allegheny. Nope, Strath Haven. They were confused. May have been a late substitution, Mark.
Mark Jones was not on the field.
At 42 seconds.
And I believe Coach Kevin Clancy made sure that he wanted his best people out on the field because West Allegheny is a big play offense, and Coach Bob Palco may use the last 42 seconds here in the third quarter with the wind at his back to try to concoct some kind of big play.
George Zurich, our statistician, let me lay this one on you. This is only the fourth possession for West Allegheny in the game. And there's 42 seconds left in the third quarter, and they're only down 7.
Well, you know, Mark made a great point. They're going to try to use the win here for the last 42 seconds, but the defense knows that as well, and they need to be set in their ways here. They're going to get the win back. They don't want to take a chance right now and having momentum switch sides all of a sudden where they've got great field position to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they need their best players on the field right now, and Mark Jones certainly has to be out there for Coach Kevin Clancy. And there he is.
Tyler Palco, he's got a lengthy arm. I mean, he can really get it up there. Joe Slappy, they got single coverage. Let's see if they go that direction. First and 10, the ball at the 35. Palco play action. He is going to look. He's got Slappy. Can't hang on. Pretty good coverage, though. Zanarelli came over and helped out. That's a tough ball to handle in this kind of cold.
I don't know if you
Good throw by Palco. He had it right there.
Palco's going to throw it out here. Palco gave a little signal before he stepped away from the huddle, patted himself to the right side as if to say, if you got him isolated over there, I'm going to bring it to you. Almost checked off at the line.
He zipped that cross-field pass pretty good. That's the toughest play for a quarterback. That's kind of the one that separates you a little bit. The men from the boys, as they say. 37 yards.
Blitz.
A quick draw. Kellen Campbell has a big hole, has a first down into the secondary and all the way down to the Strath Haven 48-yard line. It's a gain of 17 and a first down.
If you're West Allegheny, that's what the doctor ordered. Get yourself some field position, shorten the field for when you've got to face the win in the fourth quarter. Look at this. Defense is charging. Nice draw play. We'll open it up every time, and the referee gave a little help there as well.
He may have checked off on that, Gary, because he got the over pursuit. Good call at the right spot. Positive yardage by Campbell. First and 10, final 15 seconds of this third quarter. Campbell gets the call again to the 46-yard line. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. And now West Allegheny will talk things over. I want to remind you, you're watching the PIAA Football State Championships right here on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. 180 cable systems representing 2.5 million homes and nearly 8 million state residents. That's the television audience for today's PIAA Football Championships. And a big hello to all the family, friends, and fans in Pennsylvania associated with this state tournament final. Jed Donahue, the coach, Gary Sutton, Mark Shuey with you. Great to be here in Chocolatetown, USA. Bowl environment, Candy Lane is all lit up. Hershey Park, the old arena across the way where we'll be in February and March for team wrestling and the state wrestling and basketball championships, all of which will be televised on PCN. Fourth quarter, West Allegheny, they are at the Strath 45. Now they're going against the wind, but let's see, they had one drive in the second quarter, Mark, that did pretty well against this breeze.
Yeah, they did. They had a nice mix of pass and run, and they scored. They did not score, but you know they are a big play offense. But we've seen a big play. We saw the Campbell run. That was a big play for West Allegheny. They don't necessarily have to get their big play all through the air. So Palco can keep the ball himself. He scored touchdowns this year.
Ball at the 45. Jamie Fitzgerald checking into the game. He had a few carries in the first half. Fresh legs to about the 42. That's going to create third, and let's call it a long 3 or 4 even coming up.
Nice hole, nice job of slithering through that hole again as you stay on the ground here against that wind.
11:35 to play in the football game. We're in the fourth quarter, 14-7 Strathaven. Noon tomorrow, Mount Carmel, Tyrone. 5 o'clock Central Bucks West, Erie Cathedral Prep. Here we go. Third and 4. Palco, handoff, Fitzgerald didn't get there. Tackled from behind. Pete Celebre. He's got his hands around the ankles that time. Also in on the stop for Strathaven is Chris Edwards.
Take a look here. They really do a nice job of converging right here. Really smelled out the play that time as Celebre trying to find some room. And he made the tackle.
Well, fourth down and 3 for West Allegheny. What they'll probably do, look maybe to roll Palco out. If he doesn't see anything open here with single coverage.
Well, they have the option play there. They ran it for a touchdown a while ago. Let's see what they do here. There he goes.
Palco going to roll out, and he's got the first down. The drive stays alive to the Strathaven 37-yard line.
Been a very effective play tonight as you saw Palco again with the option of pitching out. I don't think that was ever a thought. Here he is. Stop right here. He's going to have the option of actually pitching out, but there's no back here this time. So instead, turn up field, get the first down, and you'll see him go right here.
That's a great heady play for a 10th grader. I mean, this kid's only a sophomore, and he's got a great head on his shoulders, a lot of poise. You know, he had a lot of options there, and he made the right choice.
22-2.
You talk football with your dad all the time, though. You get inside his head, and you learn how to think like a coach, and that's the advantage of being a coach's son.
Curious if they'll exploit the single coverage with number 7, Joe Slappy here eventually. Handoff Campbell. Not much there.
The mother of the brood
again by Mulhern. That's Kellen Campbell. 33 meets the other 33.
The mother of the Palco clan, Sally Palco, says that Tyler absolutely idolizes his father. And why not? His dad's a great guy. He's one of those guys who's just made to be a coach. He said, you know, his greatest thrill in coaching, it wasn't a particular victory. His greatest thrill in coaching is being with the kids and watching kids graduate and come back and tell them what they've done later in life. There's a guy who should be a coach, Bob Palco.
Mom, pretty good athlete herself on a basketball scholarship at Montana Tech. Tyler Palco, play action. Now pitches out. Fitzgerald. Can he get to the outside? Great play coming up on contain that time is Tim Bentley for Strathaven. Nice play.
Here are the 3 options. Let's look at it again, and we'll freeze at each one. Stop right here. First option, handoff right here, fake it. That's number 1. Let's go to the second option. Second option is you can run it yourself. Here he is. He doesn't move it this time. Third option, pitch it out and let the guy run on the outside, but smelled out very well by Strathaven.
That's the toughest play a quarterback's got to do right there. You're kind of hanging out there in no man's land on the boundary. Got a pretty much, got a slithering out, tough out there in Fitzgerald. It is 3rd and 4. 8:55, and now flags fly.
Motion.
Got a Illegal procedure coming up. That'll make 3rd and 4, 3rd and 9 now.
Pick up your flag before you go anywhere, John.
Let's see. Here's Frank D'Angelo with the call.
Take a look at this conference right here.
Dead ball foul, snap infraction against the offense, 3rd down. Stay in.
I was getting ready to say something about the family Palco conference that was about to take place on the side there.
Well, whatever it is, it needs to convert a 3rd and 9. That's only the 2nd penalty of the football game.
Right now you're looking at it as 2 down territory, so you need to get about 4 to 5 on this one.
Palco, play action. Under the gun, he's in trouble, and celebrate! Celebration time! A sack to the 49. Big loss on the play of 12, all the way back to the West Allegheny 49-yard line. Celebrate on the blitz, celebrate on the finish.
Celebrate out of that outside linebacker spot, just coming the whole time and had his nose pinned right on the young man right there. Mr. Palco, look at him. He takes the fake to the inside, then comes straight at him, never once losing sight. You notice his eyes were always on the waist where you can't fake him out.
And Palco being a left-hander, that blitz is coming from the left side, and it's from the blind side of left-hander quarterback Tyler Palco.
It's the first punt of the night. Angarelli just getting away from that. That's a knuckleball bomb out there with that wind knocking it around at the 32-yard line. Well, Strath Haven, the wind at their back, the lead 14-7 as well with 7:52 remaining.
I'll tell you, Strath Haven, they reached the Eastern Final 1 year ago, losing to Allentown Central Catholic in a beauty of a game, 13-12. The program really gained maturity with a win over Berwick in the state quarterfinal of that year. So they have been pointing to Hershey for a long time this year.
That's the first punt of the game. Mulhern slams forward to about the 38-yard line. That's a gain of 5 on 1st down. Well, Strath Haven here looking to keep the fish in the boat and bolt it down, leading by 7.
It's a dangerous time right now for West Allegheny because this is a team that has hung on to the ball and hung on to it very well all night long. That Strath Haven team.
I was just going to say, Strath Haven may not relinquish this ball.
Like watching a piece of metal go into a vice clamp.
Here's Mark Jones. Cutback moves close to a 1st down up near the 43-yard line.
First time we've seen Mark Jones go anywhere between the tackles all night. Now watch. He gets pushed this time to the inside where he starts to move downfield inside the tackles and guards and get some good yardage.
They are going to bring the chains. It's close. I don't know if he's there yet. Let's see. Jones a little bit slow getting up. Hard to believe he had a mini stroke earlier in the year. Missed 3 games, and here he is in the state championship and having a brilliant night of it as well. He's got both Strath Haven touchdowns.
Well, let's have a little fun right here. If Strath Haven can get 4 first downs, the game's over. If they can hang on to it right now, there's the first. Well, needs 4 more.
West Allegheny's going to be in a situation here in about 4 or 5 minutes, Gary. They're going to have to start using timeouts to save a possession, maybe.
Let's see if West Allegheny decides to do a little blitzing themselves.
Got to try and make something happen. This is, I believe, Celebrate. Is it Celebrate? I was greened off. It is Celebrate to the 49-yard line, a gain of 6.
Nothing fancy there. Again, great blocking up front. The meat wagon, and look at that. 2 yards in front of Celebrate before he ever gets to the line of scrimmage, and they're going for the ball as West Allegheny.
5'7" mark, and all he does is make tough plays in the lanes. He just had the big sack defensively.
Leading rusher for Strath Haven this season with better than 1,000 yards.
2nd and 4. Connor gonna throw. Got a flag. May have holding here. This is a big, big call. He's hit and dropped at midfield, but I think you got a hold.
I think Pat Battle is going to get nailed for a hold on this play. We'll see. The hold was on the right-hand side.
All right, let's go to Frank D'Angelo. Here it is.
Holding offense.
Sometimes when you get busted plays like that, Mark, guys try and hold on to their block a little bit and get in bad position. They start grabbing at things they shouldn't.
And also late in the game, you know, you get a little bit tired.
Right, good call. Yeah.
Take a look. There you had it.
There it is, number 55 on the left side of the screen.
Patel has played very well.
Oh, he really has.
He's been brilliant for them tonight.
Oh, the whole offensive line has just been dominating.
Methodical. I mean, how many possessions total in this game? That might be an interesting one for... And that was only, what, the 4th possession for West Allegheny the last time. I can't think Strath Haven's had it a heck of a lot more. It's just We've had so many time-consuming drives. This is only their 5th time they've had the ball.
These are two real good football
9 possessions overall in the game.
That's amazing. I don't think I've ever seen a football game like this.
6:05 and counting to go. This is Jones on a counter. Look out. Nice play.
Great tackle.
Kevin Campbell's 10th of the night, and he had his bell rung.
Miller
That wasn't Bell, that was Alan Miller on the stop.
Kevin Campbell figured out a way to finally get to Jones, and that was go for the ankles, and you'll see him right here. Jones getting that little look, and watch Campbell just coming in and submarining underneath right about here and takes him out at the knees.
Fought off a block and tackled Mark Jones. Not an easy task.
Down to 5:35 to go in the football game. As you look at Mark Jones, the wind at his back. Strath trying to get their first ever state championship. The East has dominated the AAA bracket. O'Connor, play action, back again, looks, has Jones open, caught it, keeps it. First down at the 40-yard line. You won't see a tougher catch than the one Mark Jones just corralled at the 40.
What set this play up was a great fake here. Now watch the freeze right here as you see Connor set up the defense. They haven't thrown the ball, and now he looks downfield as Jones the whole way. Never leaves his receiver as far as his eyes. Look at this catch. Catch it, and now get your bell run and hang on.
I'll tell you what, Mark Jones is not only a finesse player, he's a tough football player. He knew he was going to take a lick, and he hung on.
Here's Mulhern. He winds for no gain. The wash catches up at about the 40. Well, you think he's going to the Southeastern Conference, and I have a feel like Tennessee's got themselves a pretty nice look.
Good package
Going out on a lift.
for the spring for track and for the autumn for football.
Whew.
Not too bad.
I don't know how much track team he's going to see if he keeps playing the way he's looking here today.
They're calling Mark Jones.
George Curry says playing on Sunday.
This kid's going to play on Sunday, according to Berwick coach George Curry. Delaware County people say he's the greatest player in county history.
Here's Celebrate, 5-7, making another big play, another first down to the 26. It's a gain of 14, and you really get a feeling now, Gary, that Strath on the pedal towards goal.
Well, there's a third first down we talked about, and that time we saw Windsor just seal a block on the outside, which opened up Celebrate to the lanes to glory. Windsor just sealing in on the outside, number 84, and went down and shook hands with Celebrate and said, hey, glad I could help you out there, partner. They're in high gear right now. This is like watching a play and seeing all the actors knowing their parts beautifully.
Week 15, no problem.
The game
Here we go.
Game clock should be at 4:17.
They're going to take 5 more seconds off.
Brings a slight roar from the Strathaven people as they shave 5 seconds off. So they're 5 seconds closer to the championship than they thought they were.
I'll guarantee you this will be the 4:17 longest time for Strathaven they've ever had, and the same thing on the other side for West Allegheny as they're trying to stop a tide that's white right now rolling right over top of them.
Ron Lewis working the clock here, as good a man as you're going to see anywhere. There's a lot of the goal judging over for the Hershey Bears here. Celebrate into the line of scrimmage. About the 19-yard line. West Allegheny's trying to strip it away. They need a turnover desperately as they watch the sand go through the glass here.
You know, it's hard for me to believe, but West Allegheny came into this game trying to become the first ever WPIAL champion to win a PIAA AAA title. I guess Berwick clogged things up here for a while, winning titles left and right.
Allentown Central Catholics had their turn
Central
here.
Catholic, sure.
It's got to be a hopeless feeling right now if you're West Allegheny and you just can't get the ball back from this team.
Playing keep away, 2nd down and 8. This is going to be Mulhern. Mulhern's got a lane. Mulhern's got the first down to the 16-yard line.
Kyle Stevens with a wonderful block that time out of his guard spot as he pushed it to the outside and opened up the lane. Here, we'll see it right here. Kyle Stevens pushing his block out. You saw that 3 yards in front again and then run downfield. It's been easy all night because that offensive line has been in full gear.
I'll tell you, this drive has already consumed better than 4 minutes.
4 first downs so far. They need 1 more, and this one's over.
It's going to be Celebrate again. Step around move. Celebrate churning, popping, and going all the way down inside the 10 to the 7. A gain of 8 more. Here they come.
You talked about the gift that keeps on giving, Jed. Fatigue now becoming a factor.
First drive set the tone when they had the ball 7-16. Even though they didn't score, knocked it around real good. West Allegheny got even in this game at 7 with a big drive of their own to start the 3rd quarter, but Strathaven had the answering kick. Hand off Celebrate. He pounds closer. The exclamation point on this drive for Strathaven.
beating the left side of that line to death right now, and you haven't seen Jones carry the ball for about the last 4 or 5 times. The play they've used all night here for the first 2 touchdowns was that little play that just hooked Jones around right over the guard. We'll see if they use it here. Here he is over on the far side.
Celebrate, an open set, as you can see, behind Connor, the ball at the 2. Celebrate, diving forward, touchdown, Strathaven, the knockout punch. Hello, gold medal. Hello, state championship. 2:14 left. It's 20-7. And that may just have done it there. What a methodical, championship-looking drive that was.
And look at the hole opened up in front again. You saw him push it in there. Chris Edwards in the crowd, and the hole just enough for Celebrate to get in the end zone. You look at it again. By the time he gets the line of scrimmage is basically in the end zone.
That is an awful lot of power that we have seen in this game from Strathaven tonight.
He just took 5 minutes off the clock with that particular drive.
There's a bad snap. Zangrilli looking to get the 2-point conversion. Check that. That's not, that's Ian Hutchinson, the senior. Or it is Zangrilli. No, that's Hutchinson. Wind's blowing so bad, Mark. The one was blowing off of it.
Yeah, their jerseys are flapping around just like the flags.
There is a flag. Let's go to the field. Here's Frank D'Angelo.
Dead ball foul, encroachment. The defense hit the ball before it was snapped, half the distance, and we'll try from the 1.5.
Oh, so that's what happened to that snap in that hole.
Just took a swipe at it.
Yeah.
Guess you can't do that, huh?
Yeah, someone on the defensive side of the ball gave it a little help going back.
Remember you used to do that in the pickup games out in the sand lot? Yeah.
Sure.
13-play drive, 67 yards.
Only problem was the guy usually did that, took the ball and went home. You couldn't play anymore.
They got the ball, I think, with like 8:53 left. And the kick this time is good by Hutchinson. 21-7. Well, Strathaven, workmanlike club. I mean, there's nothing subtle about this. This is a game, Woody Hayes, if he's looking down, he goes, boy, I really like that game they're playing in Pennsylvania tonight. The late Ohio State coach, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. In this case, they're doing it 5-6 yards in a cloud of dust. These guys have been brilliant.
13 plays, 67 yards, 6:29 and 8 up again. I mean,
that was only their 5th possession of the game. This will only be the 5th upcoming for West Allegheny.
These guys must have studied economy in school, though, because they know how to use their economics very, very well. Good high production.
Tell you what, this is a good West Allegheny
Yes,
team, Mark. I mean, we saw them in the WPIAL final. I watched the television version when they took out a really good-looking Bell Vernon team. They got on them early, and they'll be back.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that West Allegheny was the most impressive team at the WPIAL finals.
That's all brackets.
And that's all brackets. That's right. And you know, unfortunately for West Allegheny, they have run into some real buzzsaws when it comes to the state playoffs. They had a great team in 1997, 2 years ago, and they lost to Perry in the PIAA semifinals. Rod Rutherford, Rob Butler, these two guys get Division I scholarships to Pitt. And so, you know, and here, a lot of talent up and down the lineup here for Strathaven. Mark Jones, Division I talent. So West Allegheny teams have been solid for the last couple of years, but they have run into some truly great teams that we've seen in the past decade here at the AAA level.
And a lot of people have said Strathaven looks a lot like Central Bucks West. This is kind of a little preview for tomorrow night in a sense.
Well, they're near each other.
And they block, and the blocking is a big thing. You know, Mike Pettin is so big on blocking. Well, obviously, the blocking is something they pay a lot of attention to here with Coach Kevin Clancy in Strathaven.
District 1, so they're against the wind right now. It's a daunting task facing West Allegheny. 21-7. Strathaven, there's the West Allegheny bench. It's beginning to dawn on them that this could be too big of a mountain. Palco is going to drop. Palco looks. Palco's played so very well under the gun. Throwing it, it's intercepted at the 29-yard line by Mike Cunningham of Strathaven. The ball just died in the wind.
Right, that's right. I mean, you're trying to make things happen. You're trying to execute a big play, and here Palco drops back, and he's looking for a receiver. The receiver's virtually covered. Linebackers dropping back in coverage. And you're right, Jed, that wind just swats that ball down. Easy pick.
Well, and the additional problem that you see right there, Carter, of course, teeing off and Celebrate, is that everybody in the world knows you got to pass.
Right.
You know, there's no running plays that are going to be coming out, so everybody's just teeing off and coming for you.
2:04 left to go in the game, and Strath back with the ball now on the turnover. Handoff Celebrate. He's dancing inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and another rip of 9 yards. Celebrate. He's having a good night. He's got to be up around 80 or 90 yards. Jones is at 119 yards on 22 carries.
He had about 40 yards receiving in the first half of play. He does a lot for this offense. You get a guy of that caliber in your backfield.
Celebrate at 78 yards for the night so far. See Kevin Clancy over there on the far side.
About ready to become a gold medal winning coach, Strath. They've been talking about this program as a real coming star on PIAA scene in the eastern half of the draw. Tonight, they have proven themselves to be worthy of that particular mantle. Leading by 14 and a minute and 15 away from winning the championship in PIAA. It's been great having you today. It was the afternoon game was just a super good ball game to watch. Southside Beaver winning at 27-21 against Southern Columbia. Tomorrow we're on at high noon here on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Tyrone against Mount Carmel. And then 5 o'clock, the Quad A final, Central Bucks West against Erie Cathedral Prep.
All you're going to see right now, this is class. You're about to see a lot of class here from Strath. This is going to be a salute to West Allegheny. They're not going to try to score again.
There's no need. Just take a knee here. This game's over. And the Strath bench, we can get a shot of that. They've now dawned on them that it is showtime. It is the gold medal, and there's no feeling like it, Gary. So much work. The lonely trips up steps and on hills and through streets during the summer, and then the long season together. 15 weeks to get here.
Look at them all getting ready now. And I tell you what, it's the thrill, and it's emblematic of your effort. That's all it is. We count down under 10 seconds.
And the celebration. And then the other side of the coin, of course, is West Allegheny. Heroic in defeat today. And there's Strath, your state champion in AAA. Winning it 21-7. Just chewing up large chunks of yardage. Mark, impressive.
Well, once again, no losers once you get to this point. These kids take a lot of sacrifice throughout the year. They don't go to the movies. They don't have the free time that other kids that aren't involved in sports do. And you know, they work hard to get here. They pull together as a team. They energize a community. And you know, so there's nothing bad about that. You know, even if you get here and lose, it's still a quality experience, great experience for the kids, the community. So you get to Hershey, you get to the state finals, there are no losers. And West Allegheny, tip of the hat to a great season. And Strath just a buzzsaw, an excellent culmination of the last 4 years, where 3 outright Central League titles and 4 District 1 crowns, and now 1 state PIAA AAA title.
295 yards worth of rushing offense tonight for a team that just looked like a steamroller all evening long and knew how to hang on to the ball. Strath certainly tonight proved themselves to be a great champion out of District 1.
Mark Jones, as advertised, with 2 touchdown runs, and really the drive that answered the West Allegheny score in the third quarter against the wind, all on the ground. 16-play march, 86 yards. 119
yards for the night on rushing. He was unbelievable. Maybe the true heroes of the evening, the offensive line for Strath. And again, hats off to those guys. You know, you talk about the guys like Carter and Battle and Moore and Edwards and Love. All those guys were tough all night.
All right, a lot of thanks to our PIAA staff, led by Mr. Cashman, Horace Lombardi, and we've got Melissa Nash, of course, our WITF production crew. The staff here at the Hershey Entertainment and Resorts Company, General Manager Scott Mullen, Operations Manager Tom Stevens. We'll be back with you at noon tomorrow. Next is going to be the Single A final, I believe, on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. For Mark Shuey, for Gary Sutton, for our entire crew here in Chocolatetown, USA. Strath 21, West Allegheny 7. I'm Jed Donahue. Good night, everybody.
Very highly touted.